With rants and raves, you'll be okay. And today is your lucky day. It is rants and raves with Gary K.
Hey everyone, this is Gary K, and welcome to my last pre-Infocomm edition of my Rants and Raves videocast. We've spent the last couple of weeks talking to, say, 15 or 20 of the largest brands, the most important brands, I should say, at Infocomm 2023, in my opinion. And we saved the best for last, Evan. We got Evan Groom, who's actually a product manager at Shure. Evan, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Gary. How are you today?
I'm doing well. I've actually known you for a long time because you had a prior life at another audio company, so you've got a lot of experience with audio. And it must be awesome to have a product like the MXA902 dropped in your lap and said, "Hey, we want you to handle this product," because it's like one of the greatest new products in our industry right now.
Oh, yeah. It was great just to kind of come on board and kind of just hit the ground sprinting, basically. So I started in January, managing similar category to what I was doing. So I was able to take what I knew and kind of jump right into this. So the MXA902, like super exciting, world's first ceiling array with built-in loudspeaker. So this is going to be a really big show for us.
Well, you've got the 902, which we're showing right now.
Yep.
And probably the biggest thing that you notice from this exploded view is it has a speaker built into it. So we should immediately talk about sort of the differentiation between that and the 920.
Yeah,
this
definitely
has a speaker built into it. I'm going to ask you the question of what's the difference between the 902 and 920 besides the speaker in just a second. But it's still got the same 24 by 24 form factors, replace the ceiling tile, or can be hung separately. But you obviously added a speaker. What's the point of the speaker?
Yeah. So and I guess I'll start off by saying first, you're hearing me from a 902 as well. I have the luxury of having one installed in my basement, which not many people can say they have. So you're hearing me from a 902. We were really striving to make it sound like the 920, and I really think it does. But the point of having that loudspeaker, you can see it right there on screen. That's the back cavity of it in that bottom left corner from how we're viewing it.
Mm-hmm.
The point is we're really targeting these small to mid-size rooms with the 902.
Mm-hmm.
And where a single speaker such as this would really be sufficient for that area. Really, before with the 920, it's a lot for a small to mid-size room. So this is really kind of a needed answer for that space. And don't be dissuaded by the size of that speaker. I highly encourage you to come hear this thing for yourself at the trade show. There's going to be a couple ways for you to experience it. Hearing it is really believing. I mean, it blew me away the first time I heard it. It's more than sufficient for the spaces we're really targeting.
Yeah, and obviously you can mount it in the ceiling. You can mount it on the ceiling. You can drop it from the ceiling, and
Exactly.
It's still a single point of connection. Even though you've added a speaker, you didn't add another connectivity point.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So for our integrator friends, you'll be happy to know there's no new mounting accessory SKUs. It's the same ones that you're already familiar with on the 920. So it's the same exact mounting scheme that you see, the 6 different ways to mount it here. Like Gary said, in ceiling, below ceiling, flush in a hard ceiling, and then 3 ways to suspension mount it. So single cable. We were really looking for simplicity with the 902. Everything we did with the 902 was centered around simplicity. So one cable's all you need.
Yeah, and obviously probably the most asked for feature was why not add a speaker to the 920. So that's probably why why y'all decided to do it.
Exactly.
So when it comes to the 902 versus the 920, up here we're seeing some coverage area examples, and it's obvious that you're focusing this on small to medium sized rooms for a couple reasons. I'm guessing there's a difference between the microarrays, but also the fact that the speaker, you probably wouldn't want to use that level of a speaker in a large space.
Yeah, exactly. You touched on it. So really that speaker is really optimized for this small to mid-sized space.
Mm-hmm.
And really, that's a key difference between 902 and 920 is really like where we're positioning it. That room diagram was a good example there. and it kind of shows like how we envision the 902 kind of being installed closer to the display, really to kind of localize. You're hearing the far end kind of in the same direction you're seeing them from.
Right. So they should turn the speaker and mount it so that the speaker is closest to the display.
Exactly. Yeah. And then in our software, you have the ability to drag like the microphone coverage back to yeah, this kind of illustrates that. I'm not, it's a PDF, so it's not going to animate, but you can drag that blue coverage square back to ensure that the table's, covered. So.
And do you do that in real time after it's installed? Or
yeah, you can.
So you can hear the difference.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. So the DSP is all inside the process, the product itself.
Exactly. Actually, that's a good segue. If we could go there, I think it's a couple slides back where we had the feature set. Back. One more. Yeah. So yeah, that's a really big selling point for the 902 is like its big brother, the 920. It's got that IntelliMix DSP, which is our DSP suite. So
is it the same DSP?
Exactly the same. Okay. Yeah. So automatic gain control, AEC, which is super important now that
we're hearing it right now with you.
You're hearing it. Yeah, you're hearing it. And it's even more especially important now that we have a speaker next to a bunch of microphone elements. So,
by the way, that's something that you guys in the audio business have been telling us not to do for like,
I know, right? Yeah.
We went around and did it. What happened there?
Yeah. This was no small feat. Full credit to the engineering teams on this. I don't know how they did it, but they did. So yeah, very, very impressive. And yeah, it was a unique challenge for our engineering team to really figure out how to make that work from an acoustic perspective, but also from a mechanical perspective, like vibration of the speaker in that metal body. So
if I'm an integrator and I'm trying to decide what's better from an integrator standpoint, the 902 or the 920, how is it just room size? Do I just put the 902 in any small room to medium sized room, put the 920 in any large room? Is that?
Yeah. So yeah, good question. The 902 is a really good solution. If we're talking from an integrator's perspective, this is your chance to go back to customers where there was budget discussion, or the 902, the 920 was more than what was needed for that space. This is a good opportunity to go back and have a really, really nice, quick and easy installation, single cable, drop it in. But one of the other key differences, I want to stay on this for a moment. There may be a slide in here towards the end, kind of putting them side. I'm gonna let's see.
I don't recall seeing a slide that had them side by side.
Yeah, maybe it's a different one. I'll just talk about it. So yeah, coverage is one of them. That's one of the differences.
So it can handle larger spaces. So 902 is up to 20 by 20.
Yeah.
And the 920 is up to what?
30 by 30.
Okay.
Yep. And
so space has what is the other factor?
So yeah, coverage and the way that you designate that coverage is another key difference. So on the 920, you have the ability to steer 8 individual lobes or use the out-of-the-box configuration, which is automatic coverage. It just gives you a 30 by 30 box. You're in the box. There's beamforming going on, but you as the integrator are, concerned with placing those lobes. That's what you're going to get on the 902 only. You don't have the ability to steer
so out of the box, covering the whole room.
Exactly.
With a 920, you can steer it. So, for example, if you have a presentation area where almost everyone is standing for a presentation, you can sort of optimize for that one area.
Correct.
Or if you have a noisy HVAC unit in one area, you can chop that area.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's a key difference. The other one, like being with voice lift and camera tracking. So the 902 being what it is, it's not going to be optimized for voice lift. That's really going to be, the reason to go to the 920. And also camera tracking. That's also going to be a feature of the 920 as well. So for the rooms that are more complex, usually a larger,
where
space.
You might have more than one camera.
Exactly. Yeah. That's kind of the thinking is the 902 is really designed for rooms that usually have one camera is enough. So
I'm going to make a prediction and say that you're going to sell more 902s than 920s if we look back a year from now. Or I'll predict that you put a speaker in the 920. So in any case, I think both products are great products. Both will be at booth 3842 at Infocomm, along with the whole Shure product line. You know, they have everything from rental and staging products all the way through install products, obviously.
Yep.
So you definitely want to go by and check them out. Anything else we should mention?
Yeah. So yeah, at Infocomm, I think you touched it. Yeah, there's going to be a really heavy presence of the MXA category, specifically the 902. But it's also a chance to have another touch point on the MXA920, which debuted last Infocomm.
Yeah.
So that's kind of its birthday. So yeah, you'll also be able to see that kind of in real time and just get your hands and your eyes on them and really see them.
You also have an audio demo room too, don't you?
Yeah, we do. So yeah, the main booth is 3842, and then separately from that, just outside of the main convention hall, is it's room W209C, and
Which is literally right across from the entrance.
yeah, really, really close. And you're definitely going to want to go. You know, once you're done in the hall, you're going to want to go check out that room, because that's where we're going to be showing some of the work we're doing with camera tracking. Also stereo AEC, some cool stuff going on there with our IntelliMix Room software package. So we also have popcorn there. So if that's,
there you go.
That's the reason.
That doesn't draw you, nothing will.
So yeah, so we
All
will
right,
have
well,
a separate room. Be sure to stop by that as well.
And of course, you can see everything at Shure.com in the meantime. We'll be going to the Shure booth and shooting videos everywhere, so you get a chance to see all these products. We'll also do a booth tour, so we'll see what it's like to be in the booth. You can see all of our coverage at ravepubs.com/Infocomm. Evan, thanks for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Looking forward to see you next week.
Same.